we start. So in the meantime, I'm going to play for you a video about SwimTayka to give you a little bit more insight into SwimTayka and the English channel.
So my name's Sarah. I'm a mum of 2 teenagers. I absolutely love open water swimming. I've been open water swimming now for probably the last 2.5 years.
I'm Henry Wilson. I've been an avid swimmer, I suppose, from a very young age, and I had the urge to fulfill, I guess, a lifelong ambition of mine to swim the English Channel. And the best way to get into that is to join a relay team and for a cause that I think really struck a chord with me.
When I first signed up for the challenge, I was a little uncertain if it was something that I could actually achieve. And I think just having this goal to aim towards and then just kind of going for it and kind of getting involved in the training. SwimTayka has been great, and they put on like lots of different training events. And so to be able to go to all of those events and just like bit by bit, it kind of really builds your confidence.
Training was, what I was advised was, don't worry about distance and don't worry about speed. It's about time in the water with regards to the relay challenge and exposing yourself to lower temperatures.
As a team, I think over the last few months, we've met up several times, we've been training together, we've got together and really like shared our hopes and our fears for the big swim and worked out ways that we can kind of support each other.
I think it's really nice that we've had the opportunity to meet so many times down in Dover and at the Aldershot Garrison, where we've done a few training venues to build our camaraderie. And a lot of us have swum at lakes and things together as well in preparation for this, so we certainly had the opportunity to build up in that respect.
One of the greatest journeys that we see, or the transitions really, are from those that are either not swimming great distances or they're not sea swimmers. The look on their face when they come out after the qualifying swim as well, when they've been in for an hour and a half, you suddenly see that now they are building a resilience that they never knew they had before. And that for us is the real pleasure of seeing them develop.
It's just a real mood boost, and you just feel like this real amazing like positivity all the time. So I think actually in doing this challenge, weirdly, it's like made me like a really happier person generally.
There are fewer people that have swum across the English Channel than have climbed Mount Everest, and it's going to be a long time before we catch them up. And so you can be part of this story, and it's a fantastic event to be in.
It's about mindset and endurance, and you'll be with a load of other like-minded fellows that are going to be doing the same thing with you. So if it's something that you've always wanted to achieve, give it a go.
It's just so fantastic and rewarding, and I've loved every minute of it.
Feeling ready for 4 a.m. tomorrow when we push off from Dover Beach.
It was really good. I did swallow a bit of sea before we survived.
So, hello, welcome everybody. That was our little video to give you a bit of a taste of it. To start, we'll do some quick introductions with our team that we have here today. I am Ash. I am the fundraising manager for SwimTayka. And so any questions you have about anything, you can always come to me, but specifically anything that you have related to fundraising. And we also have here Bryan Avery.
Hello everybody, I'm Bryan Avery, I'm the founder for SwimTayka. I'm also a channel swimmer. I swam the English Channel in 2013 and really put all the relays together for the last 8 years and building, and had many successful crossings as part of it. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, I'm so glad to see all of you here. It's lovely to virtually meet all of you. Um, I'm gonna start us off by just sort of a quick SwimTayka summary in case you haven't heard of us before, don't know what we do. So what we do is we provide free swimming lessons and drowning prevention education to underprivileged children who live along the Earth's open water, rivers, lakes, and oceans. So what we do is global, although we are a UK-based charity. We reach out into communities globally. Why we do this is because drowning is such a prevalent issue in the world. 236,000 deaths occur annually just because of drowning, and 50% of this is people under 25. It's one of the top 10 leading causes of death amongst 1 to 24-year-olds, and it's the 5th leading cause of death for ages 1 to 4. And the thing about drowning is that it is preventable. There's no reason that we can't stop this from happening. So we aim to really lower these numbers so that, ideally nobody would die of drowning, but we do what we can to help and further that mission. So Bryan, do you want to take over about the English channel a bit more?
Absolutely, yes, yeah. So because we've only got half an hour in this call, I just wanted to go through with regards to just briefly going over with regards to what we have and what we do as part of support and the training we do for people swimming the English Channel. So there is a physical element of swimming the English Channel, and we provide training sessions. We provide advice. We try to people get to swim all throughout the winter to try and get used to swimming in the cold. It's not about swimming long times, it's just about swimming short times and just knowing about your body, about with regards to how it copes in the water, and more importantly, how you can warm up afterwards. Swimming the English Channel is more about just being consistent. It's not about being fast. You'll be swimming for an hour at a time. And it's about just swimming at your pace, what we call like a diesel engine. Just keep going. No matter what's thrown at you, you just keep going. You keep prevailing on. We do build teams together. We have teams of 6 people that swim the English Channel. We've got many teams. We have training sessions down in Aldershot, 2 training sessions at Aldershot, then 2 weekend sessions down in Dover, once you become part of the team. The main part of what we try to entrust with our swimmers is it's all about teamwork. It's all about sharing your issues, sharing your worries with your team and working together with your team. The swimming you can train for, the swimming you can get ready for. You can swim in all the different conditions, you can get ready for it, you can build your stamina up and the such like. It's being able to deal with your fears, which is the biggest part. And people learn more about themselves by swimming the English Channel, and you're all at the beginning of your stage, your journey that you have. We do have a number of people on the call that have swum the English Channel this year, and they'll have the opportunity to speak to you as well. If you have any questions or anything, they'll be able to tell you directly in regards to what their experience was this year. But it's all about team efforts. Also, mental preparation. In regards to how to deal with swimming with jellyfish, swimming at night, swimming in the cold, the seasickness on the boat, how you deal with all those and how you mentally prepare for it, all the way up to actually swimming the English Channel on the window which you have. We provide professional guidance. We have been doing it for over 10 years with regards to different relay teams. And we need to actually count how many relay teams we've had across the English Channel, but it is an awful lot. All the coaches we have are either channel swimmers previously. They've swum the English Channel themselves, so they give you good advice. They're also professional coaches as well in order to be able to do that. And you can leverage the resources that we have. We help with regards to how to do the paperwork, making sure it's done on time, understanding with regards to what the medicals are, understanding with regards to what a qualifying swim is. I forgot what it's called, the qualifying swim that you have to do. These are all things you have to do as part of it, and also the fundraising as well, being part of the charity. So they're the main elements of it. We have teams of 6 people for each relay team. You can choose your own 6 people if you wanted to do a whole team. We've got quite a number of boats for next year. You can choose the dates and the tides that you have. So what you do have as part of actually swimming the English Channel, I'll just explain, you have what's called a tide window, and that week should be the week when you actually do your swim as part of your relay team, as part of your 6 people in a relay team, and each person swims for 1 hour at a time. You could go on the first day, you could go on the last day. We've actually got a team in Dover at this moment who are due to go on Sunday, but the weather changed on Sunday, so that at the moment they're waiting in Dover, and now they're hoping to go this Sunday, so we can let you know when they go, and we'll be able to track them going across as part of regards to what they're doing, how they're doing things. So there's a whole support mechanism that we put in place, and all the resources that you have available as well. So if you go on to the next slide, one thing we have done throughout the years, we realised each year people are asking the same questions. So I decided to 3 years ago, basically document everything down, document why people do it, what issues they face, how they've overcome them, what type of seasickness tablets you want to take, a whole host of things all to do with swimming the English Channel as a relay team. What does the curve mean? You can see the red line that's on the boat. What does that actually mean? That's the track you follow. Why is it a curve? And that's because of the tides, and they change, and the curves can be different. What's the separation zone? So all these questions are answered inside this book. We also answer the questions, so if people don't like to read the books and they want to physically ask them, then we have WhatsApp groups that anybody can ask any question, and no question is silly. Each year we get a different type of question, and it goes inside the book. And this year is no different. We've had many new questions that have come up, and explanations why certain things have to be done in certain ways. But it is a voyage of discovery about yourself. It is a challenge. Like I say, it's not about speed. It's about just time. So swimming, when you get to 2 or 3 months beforehand, you should be swimming for an hour, 2 hours in the water to be able to do it. There are a number of things which are required to be able to swim the English Channel, as like things you've got to tick off before you go. One is a qualifying swim. So the qualifying swim consists of an hour and a half in the water, 1 hour out, 1 hour back in the water, and when you're in the water, as long as you're swimming and someone sees you doing it, and all you can do is wear your swim hat, goggles, costume. There's no wetsuits, and that's part of the rules. And those rules were basically generated when Captain Webb swam it in the 1800s. That's one thing you've got to do. The next thing is joining the CS&PF, which is £20, so your membership for that to enable you to swim with them. You then have to get a medical, and it's a special medical form that you have to get signed by a doctor. It doesn't have to be your own doctor, but that happens from the beginning of January, and we encourage people to get it done by the end, but at least by the end of February. Then there's your actual tide window, regards to which window it's going to be. So it can be anywhere from June all the way through to September, and they tend to be a week long. And we advise people to be down in Dover, or within at least half an hour's drive of Dover when that happens. And try and be down there as a team, so you're all there, experience everything together, experience with regards to what's happening and what's going on. So that's it on that side. The swims can take, so when you start your journey on the boat, when it leaves Dover Harbour, you go to Shakespeare Beach or Samphire Hoe, where the first swimmer will set off. And it tends to take anywhere between 12 and 18 hours. And that's not due to the speed of the team, it's due to regards to the conditions, what Mother Nature is, which way the wind's blowing, which way the tide's going, whether it's a spring tide, neap tide. All those different elements come into play, whether it's sunny, whether it's windy. They can all push you in different directions, but it's anywhere between 12 and 18 hours, which means that you'll get a You get 2 swims, so that's one, and your relay team goes from 1 to 6. Once number 1's finished, number 6 finished, then number 1 gets back in. So you definitely get two swims, possibly 3 swims when you're doing it. So you do spend a lot of time on the boat, but on the boat you're actually supporting the rest of the swimmers, regardless of what's happening and what's going on, both mentally and physically as well, on that side. But this book has everything inside it, and it is available to buy if you're interested on that side. So let's go to the next page. We do encourage people to get your fellow swimmers, so don't take this journey alone. Pull along a friend, so someone that you know that you possibly swim with in your open water swimming, in regards to what you're doing, how you're doing things, or the swim club you might be in. Bring them along. Have a whole team if you wanted to. I know there's a number of people here that are already contemplating putting a team together as a team of 6. As the journey goes on, you get to know with regards to who else is in your team. So even if you're just by yourself and you join a particular boat or particular tide, you'll get to know who's on your boat, and you'll get to know them intimately by the time you've reached France. The next slide. I'm conscious that people will like to ask lots of questions, so it's really times for questions. So that'll either be myself answering, Ash, or any of the current channel swimmers that swam this year. So does anybody would like to start asking any questions? Joanne.
One of my big questions or a slight concern is I've been doing breaststroke only just from I'm strong at it in the pool, but not as an open water. So obviously I've got a year.
So I know you're breaking up slightly, but I understand with regards to what your question is. You're mainly focused on breaststroke, because that's your strongest stroke. So we do recommend people swim front crawl, and there's a reason why you need to swim front crawl, because if you think about it, if you're swimming front crawl, you're in the open water, and you get into trouble, you revert to breaststroke. Yeah. So immediately, all the people on the boat know that you've got there's something wrong. Yeah. Also, the pilots want people to swim front crawl for that particular reason. Your journey with regards to going from being breaststroke to going to front crawl is quite a quick journey. If you've got a focused in mind, I know there are a few people on here, whereas 18 months ago they couldn't swim front crawl either. They could just about maybe do 1 or 2 strokes, and by getting the training, the stroke analysis to be able to help you, it becomes second nature to you. You suddenly realise actually it's easier to swim front crawl. So I wouldn't worry too much about your transition across. By having a focus, we can help you and point you in the right direction with regards to where you are in the country, how to. We always try and recommend people get stroke analysis with regards to training, even if you're a good swimmer. And the reason being because we're not trying to push you. We're trying to make you enjoy yourself in the water, be relaxed, and just be constant. And the way to do that is to be able to get your stroke a better stroke, a more fluent stroke, and a much more easier fluency with inside the water. Then once you've done it, and once you go forwards, you'll do that for the rest of your life. So, is that okay? I see Liz, but is that Liz? It's got the hand up.
I think Emma had a hand up.
Sorry.
I did have my hand up, but my question was very similar to Joanne's. But I can do both, but I normally stick to breaststroke, but I've been trying to up the game with the front crawl at the moment, but I was a little bit scared about that. And if we come on the 7th, do we have to front crawl the whole time when we're there on the 7th, or is this just a bit of a taster? Right,
No.
Yeah.
So just for everybody else, on the 7th September, which is a couple of weeks' time, we have an introduction session down in Dover. That is purely an introduction.
Okay.
It's for you. You can do whatever stroke you like.
Yeah.
We do have some like safety tips and bits and pieces, like swimming with a toe float and doing all those elements. But it's all about meeting everybody else. And
Okay.
that's the biggest key point. Meeting everybody else, talk to people, you get your questions answered, go in the water.
Yeah.
And feel what it's like, because water is different in different places. You'll be really
Yeah,
surprised.
I've not done a lot of sea swimming. I do most of mine in a quarry.
Okay, so coming to Dover will be quite.
It'd be really different.
Yes, yeah, very much so. Much more buoyant.
Yeah.
Possibly warmer than a quarry as well.
Okay.
Definitely. So.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That's okay. Liz, your next hands up.
Good afternoon. We're a team of 6 from the west coast of Canada.
Okay.
And wondering, one of our questions is how far in advance should we arrive? In terms of jet lag, getting our. I mean, we're all ocean swimmers, so that's not an issue for us. But just in terms of, and then finding accommodation. That's a big concern for us at this point.
Okay. So with regards to answering a number of points you have, is we actually, the team that are down in Dover at the moment, there are 2 people from LA. They flew over 2 days before, and they flew into Heathrow. One of the teams could pick them up and take them to Dover if they wanted to. So you can work as a team with regards to how to get from Heathrow to Dover, or you can take the train. So there are easy ways to get there. Also, the other aspect is you come 1 or 2 days before and 1 or 2 days at the end as well, to be able to do it, to be able to fly in and fly out. Because it could happen that the wind, like the team that's down there at the moment, their window ends on Monday. So on Sunday they might be going, but it might be going on Monday. With regards to accommodation, Dover's a port, and there's lots of accommodation there. Everything from hotels to Airbnbs to bed and breakfast to campsites that you can go to as well. You don't have to necessarily stay in Dover. There are some other smaller bays that you can go to and still get the swimming in the English Channel too.
Okay. One more question, if I may.
Yeah.
So you've got this tide window of whatever, 7 days, 9 days, whatever it is. And then booking your accommodation, you obviously have to book it through to the end, and probably on the other side, because you're going to be tired when you get back to Dover. So I guess there's that, and So
I think I understand what your question is. So for example, if you were to go on day 1 or day 2, you've then got the rest of your time. Do you want to stay down in Dover, or do you've got the opportunity to go to London or go to Oxford or something like that? And you're thinking, how I would have wasted all that money. So there's a number of options there. One is we have what's called a Premier Inn and Travel Lodges, and they have a flexible option. So whenever we have any training down in Dover, we always tell people to get the flexible option, because if the weather's really bad that weekend, we won't necessarily be going to Dover. We might be going somewhere else. And the flexible option means you can book for a whole week, but you can cancel it at any stage up to about 1 o'clock for that day. So if you was to go out on the second day and you still had 5 days left in the Premier Inn or Travel Lodge, with a flexible option, which is slightly more expensive, you can cancel it. The earlier you book something, the cheaper it is, for sure, to be able to do it. And all the people, there's a lot of channel swimmers that go to the Premier Inn and Travel Lodge, so that they're used to channel swimmers with regards to them cancelling and booking up. But there's also Airbnbs, and you can speak to them and say, this is the situation, and there's going to be a whole team of 6 of us in the Airbnb if it's big enough. Can you accommodate us? We might be going here, we might be, and just to work with them. And it's up to the team to decide with regards to where to go to, but there are plenty of options.
I would just really quickly add, our team decided to book a chalet this year, about 20 minutes outside of Dover, with easy access to the beach, and it equated to about £200 per person for the entire week. So in terms of cost efficiency, is equal to 2 nights at the Premier Inn, and we felt like just having it booked for the week and having catering and whatnot actually was a good efficiency in terms of cost. And if we happened to have gone early, we would have all have just gone home safe in the knowledge it hadn't cost us a fortune. So Airbnb is definitely a viable option if you search for that.
Thank you, Helen. So Helen's one of our channel swimmers, by the way. That's why I gathered. But thank you, Liz. Go to Ewan if you'd like to ask a
We
question.
got a question from Wendy in the chat from
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
Because she doesn't have a mic. She said, what success rate do we have with the relay teams, i.e. what % make it to France?
So in the last 6 years, it's been 100%. We had the only one failure we've had was due to someone that had a medical condition on the boat. Went in the water and they had a seizure in the water, and they didn't declare before they got on the boat that they had a medical condition, and the team were furious that they didn't mention it, so they could potentially support it. So, but we do have a very, very high percentage rate, and the reason why we have a high percentage rate is because we prepare people as much as we can. It's the team that are going across. We prepare them to make sure they're ready for as much as possible. There'll still be the unexpected, but we tell them that there will be the unexpected. Part of your training, we won't tell you what's going to happen in certain things to see how you react as a team, who gets nervous in your team, what happens when people get cold, how do you deal with that? So it's all the aspects of dealing with the channel swimming and dealing with people's fears and what happens. So I saw this, I'll quickly... Ash, do you want to answer Tony's message with regards to fundraising targets?
Of course. So the fundraising minimum target is £1,500. If you are in the US or Australia, it would be the equivalent to that in your currency, and whatever like transition between the amounts that so you can raise it in whichever currency is easiest for you. It's £1,500, and then whatever the equivalent would that would be in your native currency. But we do ask people to shoot for 1,800 because we find that they almost always exceed that. And then that is just more money that we can pour back into our programs and teaching children how to swim.
Thank you. We'll take 2 more calls because we want to try and keep this within half an hour, but we will stay on after the half an hour, so that way people can then leave or people can stay. Someone was asking with regards to whether there'd be another introductory session. Each month we will have a webinar, and when you sign up, you'll be added to a new WhatsApp group, and you'll be able to talk as much as you like whenever you like, be able to do that. So, but you can always WhatsApp us with regards to any messages at any time. So the last 2. So you can go first, then followed by Sarah.
Cheers, Brian. Yeah, I just wanted to ask with regards to the practice swim, the hour and a half in the water, hour out, hour back in. Apologies if you did mention it, but am I right in saying that it's in sub 16 degree water?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that part, didn't I? Sorry.
That's good. I just wanted to double check.
Correct. Yeah.
And is that the swim that takes place in a couple of weeks?
No. They can do so it can be done any time from now onwards.
Perfect. Okay.
So if you feel you're a competent swimmer, you can do it now, get it out of the way, and it's done. If you want to do that, but it's not. It's really the May session and June session when we go into Dover that we have people doing that swim. And just for everybody notice, people are always nervous about it. And get a fear for it, and that's one of the fears you have to get over. And once you've done it, as all the last year's channel swimmers or this year's channel swimmers will say, is once you've done it, you think, I want to do it again. I want to do it again. It wasn't that bad. It was really easy, even when it's below 16 degrees. And what we try to do is get people to dip, not necessarily swim, to dip in the water all throughout the year. At least once, maybe once every week or once every 2 weeks. And the reason being is what we're trying to do is get people not just to acclimatise to the water, but know with regards to what it feels like, know with regards to what the coldness is, and how you deal with that. how you make sure you keep a hat on your head, make sure you get dried and dressed, and be ready. So get into a routine, and that's what we try and instill in people whenever throughout the winter for doing cold water swimming. You might do 2 meters, you might do 50 meters. It's whatever you feel comfortable as part of it. So we'll do the last one with Sarah, and then we'll just go on to the next steps. And like I say, we'll then pause. Then we'll answer any other questions that might have as well. So, Sarah, if you're still here, Sarah, you need to come off mute first. Oh, the mic isn't working. Okay. Do you want to type the message? If you can type the message. So all the links, by the way, and a copy of the presentation will be emailed to you, so you'll be able to have a copy of that as well. Is it always teams of 6? If it's the first time you're swimming the English Channel, yes. That's the optimum number. Now the reason why being 6 is if we come up to the week and someone falls poorly, you can drop down to 5. If you're a strong team, you could drop down to 4. But you need, if you don't have the experience of doing it, then we say to people start off with 6. You can potentially go down to 2 to be able to swim it, but you have to be a very, very strong team in order to be able to do that. But it is 6 people, and if you were a strong team, you wanted 4, we would request that you still raise the same amount that 6 people would. So that then covers for it. Okay, thank you, Sarah. So that's it with the current questions. Like I said, we'll continue afterwards. So the next step is with regards to joining the relay team. So if you go to this link, which is swimtayka.org/English channel, there's a registration form. You can go on there. That will take you to the first stage. You'll then get another email with all the details that we've talked about here. Then the next link will be actually to the actual registration form, which we'll send to you as well, and that form will allow you to be able to choose which window you want to go on. If you are a whole team and you want to do it as a team, please let me know first, so we can make sure we reserve one of the slots for you. So I know we had the Canadian team. We're looking at that. So if you do want that, then please contact me or Ash, and we'll make sure we reserve a particular slot on that side. So we do have an introduction day, like it's been mentioned, on the 7th of September down in Dover Beach, starting at 9:45 a.m. in the morning, and that's at Swimmers Beach. We'll send you more details for it. There is a link which we'll send to you, and it has all the details. You can either just come for the morning, the afternoon. If you do want to stay there the whole weekend, we're going to be looking at doing a night swim as well. So if you've never done a night swim before, it can be a lot of fun, and it's in a safe environment as well, with swimming teachers to be able to assist and be able to do it. So that's coming along. We will have webinars every month going forwards. So that's it on my side. Ash, do you want to finish off?
You should have my email by now as well, the one that the link for this came from. So if you have any questions that way, you can email me. Like Bryan said, you can also WhatsApp us. The WhatsApp number is in my email signature as well, so it should all be easy for you to find if you need that. It was great to see all of you today. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope that we see you more in the future as well.